Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a favorites and hated kind of thing. So I'll tell you my favorites of the month of April and I'll tell you what I didn't like so much during the month of April. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell if you want to get notified when I post new videos. So yeah, if you want to see what I liked and what I didn't like for the month of April, just keep watching. Alright, so I have a lot of things that I enjoyed because I got more newer releases, I guess, and I tried out some older things that I haven't tried in a while. So we're going to start out with something that isn't so brand new to the market. It's pretty old and it's a more classic product. So it's the Maybelline Ice Studio black gel liner, and I've used it quite a bit and I just got it recently, but it's a lot better than the Essence one, and it just goes over the eye so well, and it's the only gel eyeliner that I've used that I can do a wing with, which isn't very easy. The next thing that I like for April is the Tardiest lip liner that they have, and this is in the shade Laddergram, and it's kind of a nudish brown pink color, and it goes really well under the darker colored lipsticks, and it just helps really well with keeping your lipstick on for longer, and it's really smooth and creamy, and doesn't tug on your lips as hard as the other lip liners that I've tried, so this one's really good. The next thing is a blush that I actually got in an Ipsy box that I wasn't too sure that I would like, but it's the So Suzanne Blush and Glow, and it's in the color Rose Rust, and it's this kind of nice reddish tone, and it does have a bit of a sheen to it, but once you put it on the face you can't really tell. And I've been trying to find a blush that's more like red instead of like pink, and even though this does have the sheen in it, it still works really well. So this blush is really good if you're looking for more of a reddish pink blush instead of a pink blush like what's usually seen everywhere. Alright, the next thing that I actually is a favorite for the month is the Smashbox collaboration with Casey Holmes. So she came out with 6 different highlighter colors. She has a gold palette and she has a pearl palette. I only bought the pearl palette because I'm not really into golds, but the one over here is going to be Turn It to Pearl, the one in the middle is Crank It Up Pearl, and then the one over here on the side is Blow a Fuse Pearl. And they all really look really nice on the skin, and it doesn't show your texture, but they're all a different shade, and they're not so blinding, but they can be built up to be super blinding highlight, but it can also be really subtle. It just depends on your preference. And so, but they're really creamy and really nice on the face, and I quite enjoy this palette, and they do last a very long time. My next favorite is something I actually just got recently, but I haven't been able to stop using it, and it's the Tarteist Pro palette from Tarte, and this is what it looks like. It has a huge mirror on it, and then it just has those colors, and I just got it recently, and I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to do too many looks with it, but just having the shade selection on it already makes it, you would think that you wouldn't have too many options just because there's a lot of purples and more browns, but with the darker shades you can customize it to be a more like smoky dark look, or you can get like the lighter everyday natural look. So this palette's really nice and it blends really well, and it's just really easy to work with. You don't have to constantly blend back and forth and try to smooth everything out. You just have to go over it a little bit and then it's already blended out to perfection. So This is a really good palette. It is $53, but it's definitely worth it. Alright, the next favorites is the CoverGirl Outlast All Day concealer, but it doesn't give enough coverage for me under my eyes since I have such dark circles. So with the Tarte Tape Shape, if you mix these two together, it makes it really, really good. Neither of them crease on me, even though I do have under eye wrinkles, but neither of them crease, so just putting them together to make it a more full coverage, with this on its own is a bit too much, and this on its own is not enough, so if you mix them together, it's a great combination, but both of the concealers are amazing, and they just blend out really well. The last favorite of April that I have to share with you guys is the Milani eyeshadow primer there's only one color, but it's in nude, and it's in 01 nude. And it comes out in obviously a nude looking color, and then you rub it all over your lids, and it'll cancel out some of the veining and darkness on your eyes to give you a more smooth base. And then what I like to do before going in with shadows is using the Wet n Wild Creme Brulee eyeshadow. And then this really helps my eyeshadows last all day, and it's really affordable instead of using like the Urban Decay primer for your eyes or even the NARS that just recently everyone's been in love with. It's an eye primer, and if you can find one for cheaper that works just as well, then you might as well use it instead of spending $20+ on an eyeshadow primer. So yeah, but this one works really well, and it makes my eyeshadows go on really vibrantly as well, just because it does have the smoothing effect. So yeah. Alright, and now on to the part that a lot of people like to hear about, is the hate-its of the month of April. So, something that I just recently got that I was really excited for was the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick, and I got a purple shade. And there's nothing wrong with the actual color. It's actually really pigmented and really nice, and it goes on really dark. You do have to do about 2 like layers just to make sure everything is even, but it does look pretty nice. The only problem is once it wears for a while, it'll start, instead of just like kind of flaking off like normal lipsticks would do, because it's just dry and matte, it'll kind of get like wet and it'll just stick onto your teeth, and so you constantly have to be checking your teeth because there's just purple everywhere in it, and then it'll like bleed out into the lips even when you use a lip liner. So the color is really good, just the formula is a little off, and it just doesn't work for me. And the last hate it that I did not quite like is a foundation that didn't work on me because I have really oily skin, so it would just break down on my skin just within a couple hours within the day, because I don't have really dry skin and I don't have combination. It's mainly just oily everywhere, except for like down here, that's normal, but everywhere else it gets oily. And so what I have is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation, and I have it in the lightest shade, and it's still too dark. It's like an orange color, and so like it looks like that, and that's obviously not my shade, but this in my area is currently the only color that I can get that is the lightest, and it's super yellow tone, but it's not even the color, because I can make the color work by adding in a lighter foundation, but the problem is when I do wear it on its own and I just try to lighten it up with like my powder, just like a lighter powder that I have, it just does not work. It'll break down on my skin and it'll look awful within the first couple hours, and then it just gets super oily on my skin, and it looks cakey and heavy, and it doesn't look like I just put on like my normal foundation and it looks like my skin. It's just, foundation's just supposed to help cover up some of the redness and discoloration on your face, and this just sort of does that, but it doesn't do it well enough to where it would be worth wearing a full coverage foundation. because the dark spots still come through and the acne still comes through. So you still have to spot conceal on top of it, even though it says it's a concealer as well. So it doesn't work how it's, at least not on my skin, it doesn't work how it's supposed to. And the shade basically is just all wrong. So it doesn't wear well, it doesn't look good, and I have tried to use this. It's all the way down here. I have tried to like this, and every time I wear it, it's just a really bad makeup day. So I would suggest to stay away from this. Even though that everyone's been loving it, it's just not great. And I haven't tried the lighter shades, and if I do see them, I'll probably pick one up to see how that is on me, because this yellow is just not okay. Because I can deal with it breaking down a little bit and then having to go in with like a blotting sheet and getting a little bit of powder and just fixing it up. But the color and it breaking down and having to spot conceal just all together didn't make it worth it. Alright guys, that is my April favorites. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time.